Hey guys, welcome back to Click Academics. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to solve this algebraic equation. So we have x minus 1 squared is equal to x plus 2 squared. And make sure to stick until the end of the video where I have a bonus problem that is similar to this one which you guys can try to solve. Alright, so I'm first going to start by subtracting x plus 2 squared on both sides. So now I have x minus 1 squared minus x plus 2 squared is equal to 0. Now I'm going to let a equal x minus 1 and b equal x plus 2. So now if I substitute in the values of a and b, I get a squared minus b squared is equal to 0. Now if I have something in the form a squared minus b squared, this is equal to a plus b times a minus b. So this means that a plus b times a minus b is equal to 0. Now remember how we said that a is equal to x minus 1 and b is equal to x plus 2. So if I substitute the values of a and b into a plus b times a minus b equals 0, I get x minus 1 plus x plus 2 times x minus 1 minus x plus 2. And this is equal to 0. Now, I can simplify this. So x plus x is 2x, and negative 1 plus 2 is positive 1. So I have 2x plus 1 times, now I have x minus 1, and now I have to distribute the negative sign. So I have minus x minus 2 is equal to 0. Now this would get me to 2x plus 1 times x minus x, these two cancel out. So I'll be left with negative 1 minus 2, which is negative 3, is equal to 0. Now I could write this as negative 3 times 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. And now if I divide both sides by negative 3, these two cancel out. Now I'll be left with 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. Now, as you can see, this is a pretty simple equation. All I have to do is subtract 1 on both sides. These two cancel out. And I'll be left with 2x is equal to negative 1. Now I divide 2 on both sides. These two cancel out. And I have x is equal to negative 1/2. Now, I actually have a second method to solving this problem. So method 2. So our original equation was x minus 1 squared is equal to x plus 2 squared. So x minus 1 squared, let's first evaluate this. So x minus 1 squared is the same thing as x minus 1 times x minus 1. So let's go ahead and multiply these two. X times x is x squared, and x times negative 1 is negative x. Now again, now I have to distribute the negative 1. Negative 1 times x is negative x. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. Now negative x minus x is negative 2x, so I'm left with x squared minus 2x plus 1. Now this is equal to x plus 2 squared, which is x plus 2 times x plus 2. Now I can distribute the x. X times x is x squared, plus x times 2 is 2x, Again, 2x plus 2 times 2 is 4. 2x plus 2x is 4x. So I have x squared plus 4x plus 4. Now, these two can cancel out if I subtract x squared on both sides. So I get negative 2x plus 1 is equal to 4x plus 4. Now I can add 2x on both sides and subtract 4 on both sides. So now I have negative 3 is equal to 6x. Now if I divide by 6 on both sides, I have negative 3 over 6 is equal to x. Negative 3 over 6 is the same thing as negative 1/2. So I have x is equal to negative 1/2. Alright, so I have x minus 3 squared is equal to x squared. And I actually have two methods to solving this problem. So for method 1, x minus 3 squared is equal to x squared. I'm going to first start by subtracting x squared on both sides. These two cancel out. And now I have x minus 3 squared minus x squared is equal to 0. Now, we can we can let the variable a equal x minus 3, and we can let the variable b equal x squared. So now if I substitute these values in for a and b, I have a squared minus b squared is equal to 0. Now, if I have something in the form a squared minus b squared, this is actually equal to a plus b times a minus b. So now I will have a plus b times a minus b is equal to 0. Now remember how we said a, this was equal to x minus 3, and b is equal to x. So now if I plug these values in for a and b, I get x minus 3 plus x times x minus 3 minus x. And this is equal to 0. Now to simplify, I'll have x minus 3 plus x times x minus 3 minus x is equal to 0. Now we could combine like terms. X plus x is 2x, so I have 2x minus 3 times x minus x. These two cancel out, so I'll simply be left with negative 3 is equal to 0. Now we can rewrite this as negative 3 times 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. Now if I divide both sides by negative 3, these two cancel out, and I'm left with 2x minus 3 is equal to 0 divided by negative 3 is 0. Now I can add 3 on both sides, so these two cancel out. Now I have 2x is equal to positive 3. And now if I divide by 2 on both sides, I'm left with x is equal to 3 over 2. So that is our value of x. Now, let's go ahead and do method 2. So our equation was x minus 3 squared is equal to x squared. Now this time, I'm going to first evaluate x minus 3 squared. So x minus 3 squared, this is the same as x minus 3 times x minus 3. So we can first start by distributing the x. X times x is x squared, and x times negative 3 is negative 3x. Now I'll distribute the negative 3. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Now negative 3x minus 3x is equal to negative 6x, so I have x squared minus 6x plus 9 is equal to x squared. Now, if I subtract x squared on both sides, I'm left with negative 6x plus 9 is equal to 0. Now, if I add 6x on both sides, I get 9 is equal to 6x. And if I divide by 6 on both sides, these two cancel out. I'm left with x equals 9 over 6, which is equal to 3 over 2. So x is equal to 3 over 2 is our answer.